Say even, Shah Rukh, Jab Tak Hai Jaan, we had, all of us had gotten along so well. You don't get time to meet people.
Right.
You don't get time. Only when there's a party or somebody throws a, kuch success party or some kind of a function that everyone gets together. Otherwise, everyone is so busy,
Obviously, it's a very demanding profession.
In their films, in their work, on outdoor schedules. So you don't get to catch up as much as you do. There's many times where like 1 or 2 months will go by and I'll realize I haven't seen my closest friends.
Right.
You haven't met them, and I feel very guilty sometimes.
But do you make friends in industry? Is it possible?
Definitely. I think some of my best friends are from the industry. Whether it's Ali Abbas Zafar, who's a director, Kabir Khan, who's also a director, Karishma, who's a
Generally,
who's an
I've
AD.
seen a lot of actors keep saying, industry में friends बनाना बहुत मुश्किल है.
Mushkil nahi hai. I think it's difficult to maintain.
Right.
That can be difficult for two reasons. One is you don't get time, and the other one is sometimes you can run into little tricky situations. For example, it can go both ways. For example, your really good friend is a director, and he doesn't come to you with his next film.
Right.
Sometimes I have seen it happen that people can get really hurt feelings, and there can be misunderstandings, and sometimes that relationship gets spoiled. Sometimes it can be the other way around, that perhaps your really good friend is a director, he comes to you with a film and you don't want to do it. And you don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it.
So you do say no. That can also cause a misunderstanding. But I think, the way I see it, if the relationship and the bond is really genuine and real, I think that lasts. I think that connection lasts.
आपके साथ ऐसा कुछ हुआ experience जहाँ पे you are in a tough situation wherein you have to say no to something which you never wanted to, kind of?
That has happened to me a few times, and the other way around has happened to me a few times, where somebody who I was very close to maybe went to somebody else with their film, and मुझे थोड़ा hurt feel हुआ.
कौन से ऐसे films? Okay, film का नाम नहीं लेंगे.
You know I won't say.
Okay, fine, that's okay. By now I know you that way. कौन से ऐसे films हैं you felt that you wanted to be a part of those films?
I was thinking about something the other day that I realized. Actually, it was Arjun who told me this. Arjun Kapoor, who's my really good friend.
Obviously, yeah.
I always forget about Arjun when I say the name of my friends in the industry. This is very bad, huh? I just realized
heard that Arjun and you were like,
really
you
good
bonded
friend.
like brother sisters.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm saying
आपने
that.
भी सुना होगा that I tied him rakhi
Yes.
once, which he's very upset about. We're very good friends, but he was like, "Why did you need to tie me rakhi?" And I said, "Because I didn't have anyone else." Actually, I had called up another actor who I've done a lot of films with, and I said, "Can I tie you rakhi? Because I think you care about me so much, and you're so kind to me all the time." And he's like, "Pagal hai kya?" Bang down the phone. Then I looked to my left, and I saw Arjun standing there, and I said, "Mil gaya." So then I caught hold of him, and he became my Rakhi brother. But he actually mentioned that a lot of the films earlier on in my career, I would say, maybe not so much now, that I chased and that I really wanted, and then maybe sometimes they didn't come to me, and I would come home and I'd be crying, and later we would realize that those films, for some reason, maybe were not accepted by the audience. So I think God has been very kind, and they were not meant for me, and it's just, I think I've had a really fortunate run. Like the choices of my films have turned out very well for me, and I guess God's been very kind in guiding my
एक बात है Katrina, I must say that मुझे याद है मैंने बहुत साल पहले आपका वीट का इंटरव्यू किया था. That was your first brand endorsement, I remember. तब से like we've been kind of watching each other and seeing. I mean, I've been watching your career graph that way. It has come a full circle in terms of hard work has paid off, and you've attained a kind of a status, and you've achieved some amount of success. How's life today for Katrina Kaif? I feel you very happy and contented today within yourself.
I think so. It's been a really, I think it's been a really wonderful journey for me in the last however many years it's been now in the industry, 10, 11 years. When I look back, or if I ever take a moment to kind of see everything that's happened, I just feel a lot of gratitude. I think I've been really blessed. I think the audience has given me so much love. They've been so kind and so supportive. Every time we've traveled around for shows, or we interact with people when we're shooting, maybe on location, there's so much love you feel from people whenever I travel around outside of Mumbai. And I think for that that was always something I wanted. If you remember, even in my earlier interviews, I've always said that I really wanted everyone to be familiar with me and to kind of